are you? This is Mr. Amr Ibrahim with you today. I miss you a lot. We are starting a new story which is Moonwalk. We have explained the story element and we have explained the vocabulary that will help us understand this story very well. So you have to revise them before listening to this video and before studying the story. Let's start with page 296. Let's summarize the page and then I'll let you listen to the track by the end of the video. We start the story with three characters: Dad and his two sons, Vern and Jerry. They were on the moon. Dad left them in the shelter and he went with the tractor to inspect the new telescope that was being built still farther out on the crater floor. Dad went to do some work and he left them in the shelter and he told them, do not go out and do not leave the shelter until I come back. They said, okay, Dad. But once Dad left the shelter and went to do his job, or he went to do some work, Vern, his son, went to Jerry and he challenged him. Jerry, you can't go out and leave the shelter. Look, I want to go out for a moonwalk. Come and join me. But I think that you can't do it because you are a runt and you are coward. Runt, we have explained it before. This word, it's an animal or person or plant that is smaller than usual size. So Vern doesn't call his brother Jerry, he calls him runt, which he doesn't like. He doesn't like being called runt. This word makes him angry. So Vern always tells him runt to make him angry and to taunt him. Okay? So he told him, I challenge you, you can't leave the shelter and go out with me for a moonwalk. And Vern left the shelter and he went out. And Jerry is looking at his brother, Vern, jumping and playing outside the shelter. And he's telling him, why did you go out? Our dad said, don't leave the shelter. He will punish us. He said, you are a coward. You are a chicken. Are you afraid? And then he told him, I want you to listen here.
Come on, runt, Vern called from the other side of the rill. Let's see you do it.
Let's see you do
Jerry
it.
Glenn.
You can't do it.
What's the matter? You scared?
What's the matter? Are you scared? You can't go out? Come on, Runt. But Runt didn't want to do that. And Vern, he jumped over the rill. You remember the word rill that we discussed last week and we explained? This one is a rill. Vern jumps over the rail from this side to the other side. He jumps over the rail and he challenges his brother to jump like him. And he told him,
Bet you can't jump over that rail, runt, Vern challenged.
I bet you can't jump over that rail. You can't do it. Look at me, I can do it.
Watch me, runt, Vern taunted. I'll show you how to do it.
I'll show you how to do it. I'll teach you because you can't. You are a chicken. You are a coward. But then Jerry, we will know in next page that Jerry will go out and he will disobey his father's orders, or he will stay inside the shelter and obeys his dad. Then by the end,
well, Vern demanded. In the moon's light gravity, Jerry weighed only about 30 pounds, even with his bulky moon suit.
Now, Jerry said,
Okay, he said into his microphone. Here I come.
Here I come. Now, Jerry accepted the challenge of his brother and he went out of the shelter. Okay? And as we said, on the moon, Jerry weighs only 30 pounds, even while wearing the moon suit. And how do they talk and they speak to each others? They used microphones because there is no air on the moon, I think you know it, and they can talk, but they use microphones to hear each other's. And when he went out, he wanted to jump over the rail like his brother. So he took 4 running steps, then he soared, or he jumped over the rail. But when he went to the other side, he stumbled. And when he landed, and Vern grabbed him, he grabbed him and he held him and kept him from falling. And he told him,
Not bad for a runt, Vern said, laughing. Now let's find a really big one.
He told him it's not bad. He didn't say it's excellent, you did a great job. No, it's not bad, not bad. Let's find another rill, a big one, this time to jump. He wanted to find a big one. It's too dangerous, and if Dad knows that they left the shelter, it will be a trouble for them. The 3rd page. Jerry remembered his dad, and he said,
We shouldn't be doing this, Jerry said. Dad told us to stay inside the shelter. If he finds out...
He told them we shouldn't be doing this. Let's go back to the shelter. Our dad will punish us. I went out and we played and we jumped over the rail. Let's go back because our dad will punish us. And if he knows, if he finds out, Vern shouted and demanded, he said, who's going to tell him? Who will tell our dad? Are you going to tell him? Jerry said, no, nobody will tell him. I'm not telling him. That's right. We will be back in the shelter by the time Dad gets back, and you will keep your mouth shut. Right? You will not utter a word. Jerry said, right, I will not tell him.
We shouldn't be doing this, Jerry said. Dad told us to stay inside the shelter. If he finds out... Who's going to tell him? Vern demanded. Nobody, I guess. That's right. We'll be back in the shelter by the time Dad gets back. And you'll keep your mouth shut, right? Right, Jerry said reluctantly. He followed Vern along the rill they had just crossed, their boots kicking up dust that settled slowly in the low gravity. They trudged along for nearly an hour, leaving boot prints in the dust. Off on the other side of the crater, sunlight was bathing the top of the Ringwall Mountains with harsh, brilliant light. It would soon be daytime. Hey, there's one, Vern called out, pointing with a gloved hand at a broad gully up ahead. It was much wider than the one they'd jumped across. It looked deep, too, like a trench. Bet you can't jump over that one, Runt. Jerry peered at the rill. It's pretty wide, he said. Scared?
Here they started to walk to find another rill to jump over. And they started walking, and it took them like an hour walking, looking for another rill. And then Vern said, hey, there's one. I found one. Let's jump over that one. And he challenged his brother again. I bet you can't.
Bet you can't jump over that one, Runt.
I bet you can't jump over that one, Runt. You can't. Jerry looked at him and said, it's pretty wide. And then, I'm scared.
Jerry peered at the rill. It's pretty wide, he said. Scared?
And then his brother, Vern, of course, he taunted him. Are you scared? Again. Come on, you must be a man. And we will stop here today, and we will continue next week. Okay? Thank you guys for listening, and see you next week. Bye.